All right. This is Yoga Sculpt. Today we'll need a set of light weights or optional. We really won't use them, but there will be opportunities to grab the light weights. We will need a set of blocks, or at least one block. And if you'd like, you can grab a set of ankle weights and put them on your ankles or on your wrists and keep them there for the entire duration of the class. All right, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and start in a child's pose. Bringing your knees wide, toes to touch, extend your arms out long, bringing your forehead down to the floor, maybe rolling from side to side, focusing here on your breath. Holding and breathing, focusing here on your breath, deep inhales, deep exhales. Still holding, still breathing. Keeping it going, stretching your fingertips out long in front. Walking your hands over to the left side of your mat. Walking your hands back through center. Drawing them over this time to the right side of your mat. Walk your hands back to center. Bend your elbows, bringing your palms to touch. Option to draw your thumbs to the nape of your neck. And extend, bring your palms flat on the floor. Bend your elbows, palms to touch. Option to bring your thumbs to the nape of your neck. And I'm just going to do that one more time here. Extend, bend the elbows, palms to touch the crown of your head. If you'd like to deepen that stretch, bring your thumbs to the nape of your neck. And release, maybe rolling your head side to side here. We're going to go ahead and rise up to a tabletop, stacking our wrists under our shoulders, knees under your hips, maybe patter out your toes a little bit. From here, tuck your toes, hammock your belly, deep inhale, lift your gaze up towards the ceiling. Exhale, scoop and arch as you untuck your toes, rounding your spine. Deep exhale. Inhale, come through tabletop, arching your spine, lifting your gaze. Tuck your toes. Coming through neutral spine, untuck your toes, round your spine, gaze towards your navel or the tops of your thighs. One more time through, coming through, tuck your toes, lift your gaze, hammock your belly down, coming into cow. Untuck your toes, scoop and arch, round your spine, coming into cat. Come back to a neutral spine, lift your left arm high, deep inhale, exhale as you reach it under and through the right side body. Inhale, lift. Exhale to reach. Inhale, last time. Exhale, reach that left arm under and through further from the right side. Release that left hand down. Release your left ear cheek to the floor. Holding and breathing. On your next inhale, lift yourself up. Left arm to the ceiling. Plant that left hand back under your shoulder. Lift your right arm high. Deep inhale. Exhale, draw it under and through the left side body. Inhale to reach right arm to the ceiling. Exhale, draw it under and through. Inhale to reach. Exhale, draw under and through, draw it further. Maybe bringing your right ear cheek to the floor, keeping your left hand boxed out. On your next inhale, reach your right arm high towards the ceiling. Release that right hand down. Bring your hands a palm print forward, tuck your toes, lifting your hips up, coming downward facing dog. Pedal your heels here. Coming back to your breath. Holding and breathing. From here, we're going to flow into upward facing dog from downward facing dog. Option to come through tabletop. Coming through. Lift your hips, lift your chest. Press your hips up, downward facing dog. 3 more times. Option to come through tabletop. Untuck your toes, lift your gaze up. Come back through tabletop, lift your hips. 2 more times. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Option to come through tabletop. Last time here. Press your hips up, hold it here in three-legged dog. Pedal your heels. Holding and breathing. Lift your right leg high, three-legged dog. Bend your right knee, stack your right hip over your left. Scratch your hips. Bring your right leg straight back. Draw your knee to your nose. Round your spine. Lower, tap the floor, and lift. Kick it straight back. Draw your knee to the same elbow. Tap it down to the floor, and lift. Kick it back. Draw your right knee to your left elbow. Tap it down, and lift. From here, we're going to extend that right leg long. Lift your left arm up high, ball in triangle. We're going to lower and lift the hips for 2, and lift. All right, on the next one, hold the hips lowered. Cartwheel the hands down, left hand to the outer left hip. Press your hips up. We're going to lower and lift for 2, and 1. All right, lower the hips. Come back down. Cartwheel your hands back in front. Lift your hips. Fall in triangle. Tuck your knee to your chest. Kick it back. Step your right foot in between your palms. From here, we're going to keep that back knee off the floor. Rise up. High lunge. Stack your shoulders over your hips. It's going to face this way. So when I open up, I face you. All right, holding here. High lunge. From here, we're going to draw the arms back. Hinge the body forward for 10. Rise up. Back heel is lifted. Front knee is bent. And rise. You are more than welcome to grab a set of weights in your hands here if you'd like. Stay with it. Hinge forward, arms sweep back, and rise. That's it. 4 more if you're with me. Keep it going. Last 2. All right, last one. Hold the elbows up overhead. From here, we're going to bend the elbows, cactus the arms. Deep bend that back left knee and rise. Bend and lift. Bend and lift. Keep it going. 5 more. Stay with it. Two more. On the next one, hold that left knee down, untuck your left toes. From here, we're going to sweep the arms back, hands the body forward, rise up, shoulders stacked over your hips, arms overhead, hinge forward, and rise up, hinge forward, and rise. 2 more. Same where we started. This time we have our back left knee on the floor. All right. From here, keep your arms back, hold the hinge forward, tuck your left toes, rise up, lifting that back left knee up off the floor. Sweep your arms around in front, so you're coming like you're going to come into Warrior 3 position. From here, we're going to pivot the left toes, opening up to Warrior 2. Holding here and breathing. We're going to lift the arms, straighten that front right leg for 10, and bend. That's 9, and 8. You've got 7. Keep it going. Bending deeper into that front right knee. That's it. Last 4. Try to get deeper. 2 more. All right, the next one, hold it in your Warrior 2 position. From here, we're going to lift the arms, coming into triangle, left arm up, right arm down. Holding here and breathing. Bend into that front right knee, come into extended side angle, left arm comes up to your bicep, bicep to ear. We're going to reverse our warrior. Hold that reverse, straighten that front right leg, coming into reverse triangle. Hold it on the inhale, hold it on the exhale, bend into that front right knee, come back to Warrior 2. Let's repeat that again. From here, tuck your hands, you straighten that front right leg, coming into triangle. Bend into that front right knee, extend a side angle. Reverse it. Tuck your left hand behind your back or down your left leg. Hold it here. Straighten that front leg. Holding and breathing. All right, we're going to cartwheel the arms up overhead. We're going to pivot that back left foot deep into your front knee, coming into Warrior 1.
From here, keep your left arm high. Release your right hand to the inside of your left thigh. Come into Exalted Warrior. You can keep your gaze forward. If you want to challenge your balance, lift your gaze up. Hold it on the inhale. Hold it on the exhale. On your next inhale, draw both arms up high overhead. Coming back to Warrior One. Draw your elbows wide behind your head. We're going to hinge forward as we tap that left elbow to our right knee. And rise up. Your back left foot is ground to the floor. Keep it going. That back left leg is at a 45-degree angle. Keep it going. Hinge forward. Bringing that left elbow down towards the inside of your right knee. Warrior crunches. And rise. Keep it going. That's it. Almost there. 2 more. All right, last one. Come back to Warrior One. Reach your arms up high overhead. We're going to step that left leg forward. Come to standing single leg mountain. Draw that knee up. From here, we're going to cross that left leg over your right knee, then into your right knee, coming into eagle legs. Draw your arms down, bringing your left arm under the right. Eagle arms, eagle legs. You can also grab opposite shoulders. You can also keep your hands to hips behind the legs. And the upper body is just too much for you. It's a difficult pose. All right, left hand under. From here, you can tap your left toes to the floor or keep them hovering in space. Lift your shoulders to open up. Lift your elbows to open up your shoulders. Maybe sink your hips lower. You are welcome to hold it here if you like. Take some eagle crunches with us. Left elbow to left knee. And rise up. 4 more. Elbow to knee. And rise. If you get the weebles and wobbles, that is okay. Rise up. 2 more. Crunch down. And rise. On the next one, hold that crunch. We're going to extend that left leg straight back. You can keep the bind in the hands. If you would like, you can place your hands to that block. We're coming to that Warrior 3 position or bird pose. Flex the left toes. We're going to lower and lift for 10 and 9. Core is engaged. Your hands can be binded or hands down to the block. You can draw your arms out in front, Warrior 3. You can tee out your arms for bird. You can bring your hands by your hips, pinkies in, thumbs out. That's it. 5 more. And 3. Last 2. And 1. Hold that left leg lifted. Unbind your hands. Rise up. Standing single leg mountain. All right, we're going to step back, coming into high lunge. Whoop, stacking your shoulders over your hips. From here, cartwheel your hands down. Step your left leg back. Step your right leg back. You can hold that leg lifted. You can lower down to the floor. You can also come down to your knees. We're going to lower down, elbows stay tucked in for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Press up. Full cobra. Come through tabletop. We're straight to downward facing dog. Everyone meets in downward facing dog. Pedal the heels. All right. Let's repeat that with the left leg. All right, so you're in downward facing dog. Just pedaling those heels. Holding and breathing. All right, lift your left leg high, 3-legged dog. Bend your left knee, stack your hip. Open up your left hip here. Square out your hips. Extend your left leg straight back. Tuck your knee to your nose. Round your spine. Tap the left leg down and lift. Kick it back. Knee to same elbow. Tap it down and lift. Kick it back. Left knee to right elbow. Tap it down and lift. Now we're going to extend that left leg through. Lifting your right arm high, coming into fallen triangle. We're going to lower the hips for 2 and lift. All right, lower the hips. Cartwheel your hands back, right hand behind your right hip. Lift your hips up. We're going to lower and lift for 2. And 1. All right, lower that right hip. Wiggle your hands back down front. Tuck your knee to your nose. Kick it straight back. Step your left knee in between your palms. Ground through that left foot. Right heel's lifted. Rise up. High crescent. Shoulder stacked directly over your hips. Arms overhead. Maybe spiral your pinkies in toward one another. Pulling and breathing. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale to hinge forward. Sweep your arms back. And rise. Hinge forward. Arms sweep back. And rise. Hinge forward. Sweep back. And rise. That's it. Maybe sinking your hips lower. Bend deeper into that left knee. Your right heel's lifted, pressing into the ball of your right foot. All right, 3 more. 2 more. All right, on the next one, hold the shoulders stacked over your hips. We're gonna, fuzzy. We're gonna bend to that back right knee as you practice the arms. Your back knee does not have to touch. You do want to come down towards the floor and lift. Bend and lift. That's it, keep it going. Almost there. Bend and lift, 3 more. Last 2. All right, on the next one, we're gonna lower that right knee all the way down. Untuck your right toes. My goodness, reach your arms up high overhead. Deep inhale, lengthen. Exhale as you hinge forward, sweep your arms back. Right to where we started. You got 4 more. Hinge forward, arms sweep back. And lift. Hold that foot onto the floor. And rise. All right, on the next one, rise up. Shoulders stacked over your hips. Tuck your right toes, lift your right knee. We're gonna pivot the right foot, open up warrior 2. Deep into your front left knee, tee out your arms. Straighten that front left leg, lift your arms up high overhead. Deep inhale, exhale to bend. Inhale, lift. Exhale to bend. Beautiful. Keep it going. That's it. We're gonna flow through, starting, ending with warrior 2, 2 times. Lots of 2s there. 2 more, stay with it, bending deeper into that front left knee. On the next one, I want you to hold that bend. Hold in warrior 2. Straighten that front leg as you bump your hips back, tick-tock your arms. Right hand up towards the ceiling, left arm down. Bend into that front left knee, come into extended side angle. Maintain that bend in the knee. Reverse your warrior, tuck your right hand behind your hip or down your back. Straighten that front left leg. Come back to warrior 2, bend to your knee, tee out your arms. Let's do that one more time. Tick-tock your hands, bump your hips back, straighten that front left leg. Left hand down to the floor or a block, hovering in space. Right arm comes up overhead. Holding and breathing. Bend into that left knee. Right bicep to right ear. Maintain that bend, your front left knee. Draw your right hand behind your back. Left arm comes up high. Straighten that front left leg. Reverse your triangle. Come back to warrior 2. All right, we're gonna pivot those right toes coming into warrior 1. So your right toes are at that 45-degree angle. Your left toes remain facing forward. Square out your hips. Reach your arms up high overhead. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, option to reach your left hand behind your right thigh. You can keep your gaze forward with your right arm overhead. If you want to challenge your balance, hinge back. Gazing up, looking up. Holding here and breathing. Try to see what we have next. All right. All right, bring your gaze back forward. Lift your left arm high if you had it. Back behind you. We're going to step that right leg forward, coming in a standing single leg mountain. Keep your arms up overhead. You can step your foot down to the left and then draw it up, or come right to standing single leg mountain. Ground through your left leg. We're going to lift that right knee higher, point your toes, bend into your left knee as you draw that right leg over your left. Draw your right hand underneath your left. Option to grab opposite elbows You can grab hands, maybe sink your hips lower. If you want to open up your shoulders, lift your elbows up, holding it here or come down in crunches. Right elbow to right knee for 5, and rise. Exhale to crunch, inhale to rise. 3 more, exhale, crunch, inhale to rise. 2 more, you got it, you're so strong. All right, rise. On the next one, we're gonna hold that crunch. Option to hold it here, you can kick that right leg back. You can also release the bind in your hands, bring your hands down to the floor or to a block. Have a micro bend, that standing left leg. Your right leg is straight, square out your hips, flex your right toes. We're gonna lower and lift. L step for 10, and 9. That's 8, and 7. You got it. Stay with it. You are halfway there, so close. All right, 3 more, and 2, and 1. Squeeze your glute. As you come through, maybe step your right foot down or come right to standing single leg mountain. Arms overhead, right toes flexed. We're gonna step back, coming into high lunge, shoulder stacked over your hips, cartwheel your hands down, and find your flow. Right leg is back. We're gonna step that left leg back, coming into high plank. You can also lower your knees. You can keep that left leg lifted. We're gonna lower down, elbows stay tucked in for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pull through. Come through downward facing dog. All right, I think we're nice and warm now. That was more than a warm up. All right. Just pedaling out those heels. Holding and breathing. All right, we are gonna come into a little mini flow, super duper mini. From your downward facing dog, bend your knees, shins are hovering, coming to power dog. From here, press your hips forward, coming into high plank. From here, lift your hips up, downward facing dog. Let's repeat that 4 more times. Keep your biceps to your ears, bend your knees, power dog, shins hovering. Press forward, high plank. Lift your hips up high. Exhale, bend your knees. Press forward. Hold it for the exhale. Inhale, lift your hips high. Exhale, bend your knees. Press it forward. Let's do that through 1 more time. Lift your hips, biceps frame your ears. Bend your knees, shins are hovering. Press forward into high plank. From here, we're gonna lower down for 3, 2, and 1. All right, coming all the way down. Untuck your toes. Let's do a little stretch here. Release your right hand out to a T. Keep your left hand underneath your left shoulder. Right leg is relaxed. Lift your left leg high. Draw it up and over the outer left hip. Opening up your left hip and your right shoulder. You're welcome to release your right ear or cheek to the floor. From here, we're going to extend that left leg up towards the ceiling. Point the toes. From here, we're going to flex and point. Flexion and point. All right, hold the toes pointed. We're going to lower and lift. Lower, slow and controlled. That right hand is still behind you. Give me 3 more. And lift. Lower down. And lift. Hold your leg up towards the ceiling. Bend your left knee. Roll back onto your belly. Placing your hands back under your shoulders. Press up. Mini cobra. Release down. Give me 1 more. Press up. Maybe lift your palms up off the floor. Release down, strengthening those back muscles. From here, keep your right hand boxed out directly under your shoulder. Extend your left arm long directly out from your shoulder. Relax your left leg. Lift your right leg high. Draw it up and over the outer left hip. Maybe just releasing your left ear, cheek to the floor. Holding and breathing. With your right hand still boxed out, we're going to extend that right leg up towards the ceiling. The toes pointed. We're going to flex and point, flex and point. All right, on the next one, hold the toes pointed. We're going to lower and lift for 5. You're staying on that left hip. 4 more. Stay with it and lift. That's it. 2 more, you got it. Last one. All right, hold that leg up towards the ceiling. Bend your right knee, roll back onto your belly. Place your hands directly under your shoulders. Give me 2 mini cobras. Press up, release down. Press up this time, hold it. Maybe lift your palms, maybe lift your legs, maybe kick your legs. That's 10, 9, 8, you've got 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release everything down. We're going to add on to that. Extend your arms and legs long in opposite direction. Palms are facing down. This is also a great opportunity if you like to use weights. Your hands are shoulder width apart. Your feet are hip width apart. Keep your gaze down towards the floor to protect your neck. We're going to lift the limbs. Lift your arms, lift your legs high. Hold everything lifted. Draw your elbows back and extend. Lower everything down. Lift up, hold it lifted, bend the elbows. Drawing your shoulder blades in towards one another and lower down. That's it, keep it going. Locust with a pull, full locust. Arms and legs lifted, arms and legs lower. Lift up higher each time. Pull and extend. Lower down and lift. Pull down and extend. That's it, 4 more. Pull and extend. Lower down. Lifting higher each time. Squeeze your glutes, squeeze your backside to lift even higher and lower. Last one. All right, hold the elbows back. Hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Send your arms overhead. You know it. Hold it for 5, 4, higher, 3, 2, and 1. Release down. Bring your hands under your shoulders. We're going to press ourselves back into child's pose. You're welcome to come through tabletop if you'd like. Draw your knees wide, toes to touch. Still lengthen your arms out in front. Come back, find your focus. Maybe rocking your head from side to side. And then come through tabletop. From here, bring your left or right hip to the floor. We're going to come and find a seat. Grab those blocks. All right. So, option 1, knees are bent, feet are flat on the floor. You can also extend your legs out longer for more of a challenge. We have that block between our palms. Extend your arms out in front. We're going to roll back here for 10, 9, tuck your hips under, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Roll all the way back. Release your shoulders down. Tap that block overhead. Bring that block back up over your shoulders. Full roll up. Use those upper abs here to roll up all the way. Feet can be bent or straight on the floor. Once you get there, we're going to fold over. Try tap the block in front of your toes, maybe on your ankles. Rise up, Frankenstein arms, roll back. Pull your navel into your spine. Tuck your hips under on the roll back. We're firing up those lower abs here, working those deep core muscles. Your feet are flat on the floor. 1 vertebrae at a time, releasing down. Release your shoulders down, arms overhead. Tap the block. 2 more times. Bring that block back up overhead, slow and controlled, one vertebrae at a time. Reach up. Tuck your chin to your chest. Imagine you have that clementine. We're working those upper abs. Keep your navel pulled into your spine. Rolling all the way up. Once you get there, tap that block in front of your toes, on your shins. Reach for whatever you can. Bring that block in front. Frankenstein arms. Roll back. All the way down. Keep the hips tucked under. Navel pulled in. One vertebrae at a time. Roll all the way back. Tap the block overhead. We're going to roll up one more time. Bring that block overhead. Roll up slowly. Think the slower the better. Tuck your chin. Imagine you have that clementine under your chin. Slow and steady. Knees can be bent or straight. Once you get there, roll up. Tap that block in front of your toes, on your ankles, on your shins, your knees, reach for whatever you can. Come back from here. We're going to find a boat pose. So option 1, you can keep those knees bent, feet flat on the floor. Bring that block out in front. If you like, you can lift those legs, hover your shins. You can also extend your legs if you like. We're just going to hold here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Draw that block close in towards your chest. You can also always place a pillow or a ball underneath your lower back here for more support. Elbows are wide, still with your knees flat on the floor, or you can have your shins hovering. We have bicycle legs, so extend one leg, draw your opposite elbow down and release. Tap and release. Same options if your legs are lifted. You're extending one leg, keeping the other completely still. If your legs are hovering, you're extending that opposite leg. If your knees are bent, you're extending the same leg. Keep it going. That's it. On the next one, we're going to hold that crunch to the right. So whether you have your feet flat on the floor, you're going to extend your right leg. If your shins are hovering, you're extending that left leg. From here, we're just going to lower and lift that leg that's extended. And lift. We're not tapping the floor. 3 more. And lift. So depending on if your feet are flat on the floor or hovering, it's going to depend on which leg you're raising and lowering. Draw your knees back in. Back to those bicycle crunches. If your feet are flat on the floor, you're extending that same leg that you're drawing that opposite elbow to. If your shins are hovering, you're extending that opposite leg that your elbow is tapping towards. That's it. Think slow and steady. Give me one more on each side, and then we are going to hold it here. Hold that rotation to the left. We're going to lower and lift that leg. That's it. Slow and controlled. You can have a micro bend that knee if you like. That's it. 2 more. All right, go ahead and bend your knees. Curl yourself into a tiny ball. From here, set the block off to the side. We're going to rock and roll ourselves a few times along our spine. And roll up. Roll back. And up. 1 more. All right. From here, keep that block off the side. We're going to do 1 more roll back. Arms out. You can also grab the back side of your thighs. Rolling back, slow and controlled. Navel pulled into your spine. All right, once you get there, we're going to draw the elbows wide behind our head. We're going to cross that right ankle over our left thigh. Flex your right foot. You can keep your knee bent. You're welcome to extend that left leg if you'd like. We're going to crunch up and release down. Crunch up and release. So trying to keep that right hip open by pressing your right knee down to the floor. Don't want to come into a cross-legged position, just a figure 4. Crunching up, releasing down, full crunch, full extend. So as you extend your leg or foot down towards the floor, that left side, you're actively releasing your shoulders down to the floor. Your lower back stays pressed to the floor. That's it. Give me 3 more on this side. Crunch up and release. Crunch up and release. 1 more. All right, release your left leg down. Release your right leg. Send your arms and legs long in opposite directions. Tiny arch in your back. Deep inhale, deep exhale. Bend your knees again. Draw your elbows wide behind your head. Cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Flex your left foot. From here, you can extend that right leg if you'd like, or you're welcome to keep it bent, trying to press open that left hip by pressing your left knee down. Crunch everything together and release. Crunch up and release. Full crunch, full extend. That's it. Stay with it. 5 more if you're with me. Think slow and controlled. Almost there. Crunch up, release down. Almost there. That's it. Give me 1 more. Release down. Release your left leg. Go ahead and grab your block. Place your block between your thighs. Palms down by your side, thumbs in, pinkies out, feet are hip width apart and parallel. Draw your heels in close towards your glutes, and we have a glute bridge, raise and lower. Your shoulders are staying pressed in towards the floor. You want to activate those glutes. You're also stretching your front hip flexor. Lift and lower. Keep it going. That's it. Give me 2 more. All right, on your next one, release your hips down. Grab that block from between your thighs and slide it under your right foot. So again, your feet are hip width apart and parallel. Your right foot is on that block. We're going to lift and lower the hips here with a staggered foot. So your right leg is higher, your right hip is naturally higher. Keep it going, lifting and lowering. That block remains under your right foot. Squeeze to lift, squeeze to lower. Squeezing your glutes the entire time. Both of your feet are flat. Your left foot is flat on the floor. Your right foot is flat on that block. That's it. 2 more. And lower. 1 more. All right. Release your hips all the way down. Slide that block over to the left side. Place your left foot onto that block. Your right foot is flat on the floor, still with your hips, your heels close in towards your glutes. Your feet are hip width apart and parallel. We're going to lift the hips high and lower. Naturally, that left hip is higher than your right, but you're actively working to lift them at the same time. Lift and lower. You're going to feel in your left hamstring and your right quad. Your left foot's grounded through all 3 points into that block. Your right foot is grounded into the right side of the floor, pressing, lifting, and lowering. That's it. 2 more. All right, set that block off to the side. From here, draw your knees in towards your chest. Rock and roll yourself like a ball, side to side. All right, come back to center. Come into happy baby. You can grab the back side of your thighs. You can also grab the outer knife edge of each foot. If you have a strap, you can place a strap around each arch of your foot and pulling down on the strap. Rocking side to side, whether you're using a strap, your hands are on the outer edge of each foot, or your hands are behind your thighs. You can come into Ninja Baby, extending one leg. And what you do on one side, make sure you switch sides. Maybe come into a wide leg straddle. Maybe draw the soles of your feet to touch. Lower back is pressed in towards the floor. Come back and find your happy baby. From here, keep your right knee bent with the sole of your right foot up towards the ceiling. We're going to extend that left leg long, placing your left hand on your left hip flexor. That left leg is hovering, your left toes are flexed. We're going to raise and lower that left leg for 5. And 4. That's 3. 2 more, stay with it. Right knee is tracking out to the outer edge of your shoulder. 1 more. All right, extend that left leg. Draw your left knee back in towards your outer hip, grabbing the outside, back side, or grabbing a hold of that strap. Releasing your right leg. Right leg is long to a hover. Flex your right toes. Just placing your right hand gently on your right hip. We're going to lift and lower for 5. Slow and steady. And 4. That left knee is avoiding your rib cage. It's tracking to the outer edge of your left shoulder. That's it. 2 more. Last one. Extend that right leg long. From here, release your right leg down the floor. Keep your left knee in towards your left shoulder, grabbing beneath your knee, just on your shin. Point flex, circle out your left ankle. And then switch sides. Right knee in towards your right shoulder. Extend your left leg long, flex your left toes. Point flex, circle out your right ankle. And then draw both knees back into your chest. Gently lower your feet to the floor. Feet are hip width apart and parallel. From here, lift your hips up and gently place them over to the left side. Let your knees fall over to the right side of your body. You can extend your arms out to a T or cactus your arms, maybe looking over your left shoulder. If you would like to deepen that stretch, you can place your right ankle on the outer edge of your left knee, pulling that knee in. You can also release your knees onto a block. Come through center, straightening out your hips, lifting your hips, let them come over to the right side ever so gently, letting your knees fall to the left, maybe gazing over your right shoulder. To lessen the sensation, lift your knees higher towards the ceiling. To deepen that sensation, release your left knee to the outer right edge of your right knee. Center, bring your gaze forward, center out your hips. We're going to rock and roll ourselves like a ball 3 times and tap, roll back. All right, on the third one, we're going to find a seat, crisscross your legs, reach your arms up high overhead. Reach your right hand down, arm comes up high overhead, left bicep to left ear, cactus your left arm. And extend, rotate your left pinky to your right thumb. Keep that extension, the left hand, draw it out around in front. Release your left hand down the floor, right arm comes up high overhead, right bicep to right ear. Bend your right elbow, spread your fingertips wide. Extend bicep to ear. Bring your right pinky down towards your left thumb. Draw that right arm out in front. Rise up, arms come up high overhead. Hands to center. Fantastic work today, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining me. This is Yoga Sculpt. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Namaste. Thank you all.